where intelligence is questioned each and every day. On this portion of the IQ show, we are going to be administering various tests to multiple subjects at random, of course. And we're going to test their performance and see how they do. Stay tuned for more. This is an example of the Wechsler intelligence test. It is the most common intelligence test for adults and is separated into two parts. The first section is a performance test. The subject is tested by putting events in order or figuring out patterns. The second section tests verbal skills by using arithmetic, comprehension, and information. The first test you are going to see is an example of the Stanford Binet test, in which questions are ordered from easiest to hardest. Our subject has an easy time answering the first two questions, but as they get harder, he begins to not know the answer, and his face becomes quite confused.
What color is the grass?
Green.
What is 2 times 5?
10.
What is cosine pi over 2?
0.
What is CO2 plus H2O plus CH4?
The two types of tests that you have just witnessed both involve one examiner and one subject. However, to eliminate bias, group tests are becoming more popular. Similar to the SAT, where subjects get booklets and are timed to complete certain sections, this test involves many students and one teacher. And you might be thinking, what happens if you can't speak English? Well, there's a test for you. They have culture fair tests and performance tests, which no language is needed, so get right on it. One example of a culture fair test is a drawing test, in which people are asked to draw, for example, their best representation of a person. They're scored based on detail, proportions, and overall picture of their drawing. As you can see, we have 5 children that are drawing themselves. They will be judged on how well they look like themselves and the proportions in which they have drawn.
Performance tests such as the Proteus maze consist of series of increasingly difficult mazes. The subjects are required to pay close attention to detail and plan ahead in order to complete the puzzle. As you will see in our next segment, our subject does not speak our language, but is still able to test her IQ.
It's a way to a x a may a x k a
It's okay. Just do the puzzle. Good job! Hey! Ellen Terman introduced the intelligence quotient, which is IQ, which sets the score for an average person at 100.
My IQ is 50. My IQ is 150.
As you can see, Jax and Caroline both took intelligence tests when they were 17 years old. Their scores directly depicted how they were in the future. One was a doctor. The other one was a hobo. However, this is not the case for all people, because intelligence can change with age. Also, IQ tests are not always accurate, so make sure you choose the correct one. Just remember, don't let your IQ score get you down. As long as you use your mind, there's nothing you can't do.